The Wandenreich stole 6 Bankai during the Thousand-Year Blood War. 4 came back, 2 never did, and both of the Shinigami who lost them were dead before the war ended. But here's the part nobody talks about. When Yhwach handed out those medallions, he gave one specific order: nobody touches Yamamoto's. Not because it was hard to steal, because he didn't believe a single one of his Sternritter could survive holding it. That order is the closest thing Bleach ever gave us to an official power ranking. So let's finish the job. 2 rules: feats over hype. If a Bankai never did the thing, it doesn't get credit for the thing, and we rank what we were shown, not the ceiling, which is exactly why 3 of the biggest names in this series aren't on the list at all. Rank 15, Ikkaku Madarame's Ryumon Hozukimaru, and the canon is blunt about it. Aside from raw power, this Bankai offers no special abilities and no special defensive properties. None. It has to be woken up by taking damage, that dragon crest filling with crimson as the fight drags on. And after Edrad shattered it, Mayuri assessed it as considerably weaker even once repaired. Rank 14, Sasakibe's Koko Gonryo Rikyu pulls storm clouds down and calls lightning out of the sky. Its receipt is 1,000 years old. Infusing his blade with that lightning, Sasakibe scarred Yamamoto's forehead. He hid this Bankai his entire career out of respect for his captain, then died revealing it. Driscoll Birchie stole it. Nobody ever took it back. Rank 13. Rose turns his Zanpakuto into a conductor's orchestra. A dozen dancing figures and music that writes illusions straight into your heart. Because the heart believes them, the wounds are real. Illusory fire leaves actual burns. But it has the cleanest counter in the series. It needs you to hear it. Mask the Masculine crushed his own eardrums and walked out immune. Rank 12. Kensei folds an entire Bankai's destructive power into 2 knuckle blades, and every punch detonates on contact, then keeps detonating for as long as his fist stays on you. Paired with Hakuda, that was enough to overwhelm a Sternritter who had already gone vollständig. No range, no tricks, just compounding explosions. Rank 11. Minazuki belongs to the first Kenpachi. Unohana's Bankai floods the field with a blood-like liquid she throws as slashing waves, hardens into a sphere of blades around herself, and, the unfair part, uses to heal her own wounds mid-fight without ever stopping to cast Kaido. A Bankai that fights and repairs in the same motion. Rank 10, and our first theft. Sui-Feng's Jakuho Raikoben is a gold missile launcher twice her own size, and she hates it. She says it insults her pride as a covert ops agent. Too big to hide, too heavy to move, too loud to assassinate with. Its blast cracked the Shiju Saimon and put down Baragan, but she can only fire one every 3 days. BG9 medalized it. She got it back. Rank 9. This isn't Renji's old Bankai, it's the one Zabimaru admitted he'd been hiding. Hihio Zabimaru was never the true name. So Zabimaru trades a giant bone snake for a gauntlet and a skeletal arm, and with Zaga Teppo, Renji impales you, twists the blade like a key, and closes spiritual jaws that reduce the target to ash. Rank 8. Sode no Shirayuki never actually spread cold from the blade, that was Rukia holding back. Its real power drops her own body below freezing until everything she touches freezes with her. Bankai takes that to absolute 0, and the cannon weighs the cost as heavily as the power. Seconds of uptime, a slow thaw or she damages herself, and the slightest mistake could kill her. Rank 7. Gin claimed his blade extended 13 kilometers at 500 times the speed of sound. Then he told Aizen he'd lied about all of it. The numbers were never the weapon. The real ability is that Kamishini no Yari turns to dust for a fraction of a second, letting him leave a sliver inside you, and dissolve you at the cellular level whenever he decides to. Rank 6. Zaraki's Bankai has no name and no technique list and needs neither. His skin goes red, horns break from his forehead, and his strength jumps far enough that he toppled a giant Gerard Valkyrie in one blow, tore his arm off, and cut him in half from a distance. The cost is total, a mindless berserker who can't tell ally from enemy, with his own arm tearing itself apart. Rank 5. Komamura's 100-meter armored giant was already a monster. Bambietta Basterbine medalized it and he took it back. But Dangai Joe is something else. The armor is the giant's life, so shedding it means throwing that life away. What's left is a body of pure Reiatsu, virtually invulnerable to physical harm. Tosen said Komamura never once considered a single strike might not end an enemy. Rank 4. Mayuri's caterpillar breathes a poison derived from his own blood across 200 meters, and holding your breath doesn't help because it enters you anyway. Then comes the part with no counterplay. He rewrites the poison's composition on the fly, so no antidote and no immunity can ever exist. In its modified form, he built a version with no teeth on purpose, so it would swallow Pernida whole instead of chewing it into more of them. Rank 3. Changdu medalized this one and Hitsugaya took it back hollow-fied because hollow power is poison to a Quincy. but the real jump came later. His Bankai completes when the last ice petal falls, and he aged himself into an adult body to reach it. Completed, his ice doesn't just freeze matter, it freezes function. He froze Gerard Valkyrie's sword, cut it in half, and nullified its damage-reflecting ability at the same time. Rank 2, as Not stole this one and used it on its own owner, and Byakuya came back and rebuilt it. 100 million blades, offense and defense at once, in forms he arranges like scenes in a play. Senkei abandons defense entirely, and Ichigo was only the second person alive to see it. Then, Ika Senjinka fires every sword at once. It turned Gerard Valkyrie's head, at godly size in complete Volstandik, into dust. Rank 1, and it was never close. Zanka no Tachi doesn't produce flames. It absorbs every fire Ryujin Jaka ever made into one scorched blade, and anything it cuts is erased from existence. Blutvene doesn't stop it. His body sits at 15 million degrees Celsius, so touching him isn't an option. He can raise every corpse he ever burned to fight for him. Unohana believed that left active too long, it would incinerate all of Soul Society. And Yhwach, the man who saw every future, ordered his own soldier not to steal it, because he trusted nobody but himself to hold it. Kyoraku, Urahara, Ichigo. Kyoraku's Karamatsu Shinju is a 4-act play that kills by destroying your head, but it needs 2 performers and ends the moment the opponent dies. Urahara's Kanonbiraki Benihime Aratame restructures anything it reaches, including enemy domains, and he openly lies about its range. And Ichigo? The canon answer for the true Tensa Zangetsu is one word: unknown. Kubo confirmed it couldn't even be metallized, already hollowified, so the medallion had nothing to grab. So tell me where I got it wrong. Could a completed Daiguren Hyorinmaru actually beat Zanka no Tachi if ice that freezes function could freeze the flames themselves? And should Zaraki be above Komamura when he bisected the same opponent Byakuya needed Ika Senjinka to finish? Fight it out below. Subscribe, because next we're doing the other side of that war. Every Sternritter Schrift ranked by what it actually did.